Hi, first grade families. This is Miss Dent, and I'm so glad that everyone is here for Parent Night. What you're going to receive is a folder for your child with all the resources that our teachers are discussing, and you're going to have a bag that is going to have our dice and some little cards in there that you can utilize at home. So within the folder is we have a paper on how to help make your child succeed in school. And items that we can do at home that can help support us is having a location to do homework, making sure that we're doing the homework calendar, we're keeping up. If there's ever any questions, reach out to us and have fun learning about all the other things. Bye.
Hi parents, my name is Allison Bryant. I'm one of the first grade teachers here at Rochelle. And I just wanted to talk to you a few minutes about our reading program, Readers Workshop. And with our program, we use anchor charts. And I'm sure your child has talked to you before about our anchor charts. And what we do is we add a sticky note to during each session. So this is one of our first ones, Readers Build Good Habits. And it talks about how you take a sneak peek at the beginning of a book. So before you start reading a book, you look at the front, you look at the back, you skip through a few pages and just see what this book's going to be about. And then you check to see if your prediction was right. And you always do something at the end. And each session we add to it. So by the end, they have about 6 or 7, sometimes 8 sticky notes to help remind them what they're reading. And here's another one that we have. We have good habits for solving hard words. This helps them figure out when they're stuck on a word, what they need to do to figure it out. So we teach them to first check the picture, look at all the parts of the word, and you get a running start. And that means you start back at the beginning of the sentence and you read the sentence again and see if you can figure out that word. And then you do a double check. So you think you figure out the word, but then you say, let me just double check it and make sure that sounds right. And then if you're still not sure, you try the word 2 ways. Sometimes the vowels make different sounds. And then reading partners is another big part of our program. And this anchor chart just talks about how you work as a team, you build good habits together, so you help each other build your reading. You read together, and you give your partner reminders. If your partner's forgetting to take a sneak peek, or if they're forgetting how to take a running start, you would help your partner. You don't want to give your partner the answer, you just help them figure it out. And see, each session, we add to these anchor charts. And there's usually about 16 or 17 sessions in a unit. So by the end, we'll have a lot of sticky notes. And if you can see behind me in my school away from school, I have a few of the anchor charts hanging. In the classroom, you would have them hanging all around the classroom, but I just have this little spot. And this anchor chart is a very important one. This is Make It a Snap Word. And this is from our phonics program. And what this does is it teaches the child how to make a word a snap word. And by snap word, that just means you know this word in a snap. You don't have to sound it out, you don't have to figure it out. You know this word as soon as you see it. So you would read it, you would study it, you would spell it, you cover, write it, and check it, and then you use it. So we use these anchor charts every day. And in the classroom, you will see them, many anchor charts hanging all around the classroom. So we just wanted to take just a few minutes to share with you a little bit about our anchor charts and what they are used for. In your packet, we've included those 4 that I just showed you, so you can go over those with your child. And as they're reading, you can help give them reminders. And you can be their reading partner and help them grow their reading. I hope this is helpful to you, and thank you very much for helping your child read.
first grade parents, it's Mrs. McKinney. In your packet that's going home today, you will receive an orange construction paper that have information on comprehension questions for reading fiction and nonfiction texts. So when reading nonfiction texts, here are some questions you can ask your student. What is the most important idea or part of the text? Why do you think the author wrote this book? What can a reader learn from the book? Retell this story in your own words. Does this book tell a story or give information? How do you know? What are the important details in the story? List 2 features that are found in the book and explain them. Write 3 facts you've learned from the text. Did the author use real pictures or illustrations for this book? Why do you think he or she made those choices? In your fiction text, you can ask these questions. What problems did the character have in the story? Who is telling the story and how do you know? Explain how the characters feel and why they feel this way. Use the details from the story to explain. Explain what happens at the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Students are really good with that. Does this book tell the story or give information? How do you know? How does the illustration help you understand the events in the story? What words in the story tell us about what the setting looks like? Draw a picture to match. Tell us why this is a good book title. What was the story mainly about?
Hi, first grade parents and families. It's Miss Grindstaff. I wanted to share some materials that we will be sending home for our parent night next week. And my materials are all going to have to do with math activities that you can work on with your students at home. So the first thing that we will be sending home is the hundreds chart. This chart does go from 1 to 100. It counts out all the way from 1 to 100. And this chart is going to be great for building basic number sense and fluency with your students. There are a variety of different activities you can do with this hundreds chart. So one thing that you can do with it is you can just count. Your students can count all the way up to 100. They can also work on counting backwards, which is a really helpful skill when we are starting to, and we are working on subtraction now. So counting backward is a really wonderful skill for them to be able to have. Another thing that they can do with the hundreds chart is to use it to solve basic addition and subtraction problems. And they can come up with those problems on their own, or they can use this in conjunction with the homework calendar and any problems that they may need a little bit of assistance with. We do have these in the classroom as well, so the students are familiar with them and how to use them. Another way that they can use this is by skip counting. So they can skip count by 5s, they can skip count by 10s, they can skip count by any number on this hundreds chart, and that's going to help them with their basic number sense and fluency. The other item that we have to send home are a pair of dice, just basic plastic dice. These are really fun, and they're also great for working on different activities that will help your students with building their addition, subtraction skills, and also they can be used for finding place value. So a couple of examples, they can take the dice, roll them, they end up with these 2 numbers facing up. They can add up those numbers. They can also write those numbers down and then as an equation and then show their answer. The other thing that they can do is they could roll the dice. They could write out what numbers are on the dice. So there's 5 on this dice, there's 4 on this one. They could write out the number 54 and they could document on there which was in the tens place and which was in the ones place. They can also roll the dice and they can use these for subtraction. So they can subtract the first number from the second number. They could also add up the total and then roll again and then subtract the next number. So lots of different fun games that they can use the dice for. The last thing I wanted to mention was the hundreds chart. They can use different manipulatives with the hundreds chart. They could use the dice with the hundreds chart. They could also use food, which is really a good motivator for the hundreds chart. So if they had a handful of Skittles or M&Ms or a handful of Cheerios, they could use those to count by fives, count by tens, to count backwards. And then they could, when they're done doing their activity, then they can enjoy their snack. So I hope that this video has given you guys some ideas about how to work with your students at home with their homework problems or other problems that they might have. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I'm sorry that we are having to do this virtually, but I hope that these items will be helpful for you all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.